Let's begin by talking about the pause. The pause is the space between what happens to us and how we respond. It's the moment between a question and an answer, between an email arriving and you replying, between a feeling arising and an action taking shape. Most of us move through life without ever touching that space. We react, we comply, we over-explain, we push through discomfort or override our own signals, often before we even realize what we're doing. Not because we're weak, but because we've been conditioned to believe that speed equals competence, and that certainly equals safety. But assertiveness doesn't live in reaction. It lives in choice. And choice requires space. The pause is where that space exists. From a nervous system perspective, when someone feels stressful or uncertain, the body often shifts into survival mode. Fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. In those states, the body is not interested in nuance or self-expression. It's interested in getting through the moment. So when we skip the pause, we often are responding from protection, not from truth. The pause gives the nervous system a chance to settle just enough to clarify, to emerge. I want to offer you an embodied way to understand this. If you've practiced yoga, you may recognize this moment. When you're in forward fold, your breath is steady, and there's a brief moment before you step back into plank or lower into chaturanga. That moment matters. That's where you decide, am I moving forward? How am I moving forward? What support do I need right now? That decision doesn't happen in the posture itself. It happens in the pause before it. And life works the same way. The pause is not hesitation, it's assessment. It's listening. It's the place where you gather your resources before meeting pressure. Many people confuse assertiveness with pushing through discomfort. But true assertiveness is knowing when to move, how to move, and how much of yourself to bring forward. Without the pause, we default to old patterns. Saying yes when we mean to say no. Staying quiet to avoid tension. Over-functioning to keep the peace. Or pushing ourselves past our limit to prove something. The pause interrupts those patterns. Even a single breath can change the quality of your response. When you pause, you give yourself access to sensation in the body, emotional information, intuition and instinct, a felt sense of what's aligned, and from there, assertiveness becomes less about effort and more about integrity. So as we move through this course, we'll return to the pause again and again. Not to stall, not to avoid, but to choose. Because assertiveness isn't about reacting faster or stronger. It's about responding from a place that feels grounded, honest, and sustainable. In the next practice, you'll begin to experience the pause, not as an idea, but as a felt, embodied state. In the next episode, you'll begin to experience the pause, not as an idea, but as a felt, embodied state. And that is when real change begins.